Yep.
You got more, right?
Okay. 25. And Joseph said unto Pharaoh, the dream of Pharaoh is one. Yahweh hath showed Pharaoh what he is about to do. The 7 good kine are 7 years, and the 7 good ears are 7 years. The dream is one. And the 7 thin and ill-favored kine that came up after them are 7 years. And the 7 empty ears blasted with the east wind shall be 7 years of famine. This is the thing which I have spoken unto Pharaoh. What Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, is about to do, he showeth unto Pharaoh.
Right, and he showed it through his prophet Joseph at that time.
Yep.
As he's showing through his prophets in today's time, he showed it unto prophets unto other kingdoms in ancient times as well. All right, so these prophecies keep. Matter of fact, I'll hit this before you hit that.
Guess what? America's the modern day Egypt.
God.
This is Jeremiah 28 verse 8. It says, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence.
Those are all bad things. Those are all things that contribute to a kingdom, a country's downfall. Look at all the kingdoms, the past kingdoms before America. They went through some type of war, some type of pestilence, some type of famine to peril, to contribute to their downfall. And America is no different. But the difference about America is going to be the worst ever in history. You're going to see the worst famine in the history of the world. You're going to see the worst type of pestilence. You're going to see the worst slaughter of the people in the history of the world. That's why these prophecies hold so much weight. It ain't like, okay, we telling you, Walmart and Amazon gonna go under. No, we talking about the whole empire of this devil, Esau, Edom, the Rothschilds, the wicked elite of this world. Their empire is coming to an end.
It's gonna be ugly and destructive.
Right.
Yeah, if I could make a point, because Jeremiah, he's telling a false prophet this when he make that statement. He said of war, of evil, and of pestilence. We know evil means bad times. So anything that's going to bring devastation and hardship to a society, that's part of the evils. Also war. Now we know that Babylon, America, in order for it to get its power and expansion was by war.
Yep.
It built itself based on war. We know that Babylon is going to go down by violence. So the way it
was
built is the way it's going to fall, and it's going to fall way faster than it rose.
Kind.
That's all Esau knows, violence. So shit, you got to go down by violence.
He was just saying in Ezekiel, the prophet, by the prophet Ezekiel, in the 35th chapter, he said, because thou hast pursued blood, blood shall pursue thee.
Yep.
Thou hast not hated blood.
Esau's not just going to lay down and give up his kingdom.
Oh yeah, he gonna fight. That's why anyway, is to go out to shed blood. So he gotta be shed by blood. Even when you go into at the end of Numbers, Numbers 35, isn't it? Yeah, when it says the land can only be cleansed by blood, by shedding the blood of him that shed it.
Yep.
So he's gotta go out bloody. Because he shed so much blood over here, just to balance back the land to what it is.
As the clock keeps ticking, and he realizes that his plan is not going to come to fruition, and he's actually running out of time, that's when he's going to unleash all his wrath on the earth, right? Okay? That's when he's going to say, hey, if I can't rule, no one else can.
Esau himself say he's running out of time. He got that doomsday clock. It's like 2 minutes to midnight, which means that's the end of his empire.
So he's gonna try to destroy the earth and everybody in it with nuclear weapons.
Yeah, they recently had back on the 18th. I just did a lesson on it. How at the UN summit that they just had, where they were discussing about the sustainable developmental goals of 2030. And pretty much they're saying that they want to have the execution of their plan by 2030. So that means that they want to accelerate the process leading up to that time frame, to where they want to get all these different goals completed. When they won't mass control of your resources, your energy, your food, your water, your whole life pretty much. You know, the energy, the people, they want to be able to monitor and trace and track the people. This is the reason why they're allowing, this is one of the reasons why they're allowing the borders to be open and for people to just march on in. They're allowing the people to come in because they don't want none of the population of the world in rural areas where they can't be monitored and controlled. They don't want nobody basically being self-sufficient, living off of this grid that they're constructing. So let's move all the people in these big populous areas away from the rural areas so that we can actually have our eye on the population.
Every living soul, like the Most High's power. I was going to, land back to what you said. I seen a video, but it was, you know how these TikTok videos and shit go, right?
That's all right.
Can't find which one. But he was like, why is everybody coming into the country military age men?
Yeah.
Everybody, but he said, where are you from? I'm from Pakistan, I'm from Mexico, I'm from India. There's from all over the world, military age men coming through the South. It's not just Hispanics. Okay? And it's barely Hispanics. It's a lot of the sleeper cells. He's like, so I can go to Chicago? Like, you can go wherever you want. He was like, really?
And another thing is the snare, because you get these people over here and get them accustomed to this life, whether they're, whether they're sleeper cells or not, and they say, okay, this is our new system we want to implement, and if you don't get down with it, we're going to deport you. So a lot of them are going to take it. So Esau just needs a specific number to take that MOTB, and everyone else, he's going to do away with.
I think a lot of Northern Kingdoms, they're going to be part of the elect too.
Yeah, hell yeah.
In them other countries,
Here too.
South America, they're coming up.
Yeah. He's telling people 2030, but we know he really don't mean 2030.
You'd rather 2025 or something close.
In the span of 6-7 years, a lot can happen.
Yeah.
And he don't have control of it.
That's right.
Exactly. And here, this is from the UN website, the United Nations, and this is what that guy Antonio Guterres, he's the Secretary General, right? And these are some of the remarks that he actually made at the summit. He said, I welcome your agreement that the summit of the future will adopt an intergovernmentally negotiated pact for the future, reaffirming the United Nations Charter, reinvigorating multilateralism, boosting implementation of existing commitments, and agreeing on solutions to new challenges. I also welcome your decision to work toward a pact covering 5 baskets of issues: sustainable development and financing for development, internal peace and security.
Hey, that reminds me of
First Thessalonians 5.
Yeah.
And they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction. Science, technology, and innovation, and digital cooperation.
Now let's go back. The first thing you said unilateral or interlateral?
Multilateralism.
Multilateral. But that means putting everybody on the same plane, basically.
He also said
New World Order.
intergovernment. That one world government.
Yeah, exactly. So that's how they're going to come up with the peace and safety, the whole one way of life that everybody could be sustainable to live under.
He said science, technology, and innovation, and digital cooperation.
Technocracy, even enforced by robots, whatever else it takes. Okay, cameras, lenses, all of these drones, all of this technology to use to make sure everybody's following the rules, upholding the system or the image.
He said digital cooperation. Getting everybody involved with digital transactions. This is why you got Whole Foods. They're going completely digital. You know, like if you want to go into certain smart foods or host like your Whole Foods, which that makes it smart food, you know, right? But pretty much you got to scan a QR code just to get inside. Some stores, like you literally, like, you're not getting in without a QR code.
Isn't that the answer to all these? I just say all these people, but we know what type of people are low. You Jakes, basically.
Yeah.
That's stealing. So you can't even come in here to steal. You can't get in.
Because
That's the answer to that.
because when
And,
you
and at DC, they got that scan and go shit in DC, and people were protesting against it.
Yeah.
but you think that you make a great point because you have to scan to get in the store, right? So they're gonna know who came in the store and who came out. You can't just go in there and just steal. If you do steal, they're gonna come get you. So it adds another layer of control for Esau. You know, and people, and obviously that's gonna make people feel secure. You know, I can go into the store now, or I can have a business without getting robbed. Without, you know, and don't think that all the stores, Nike, all these recent department stores, they're all gonna adopt this
Method.
where you have to scan your QR code to get in the store.
It's pretty much they're gonna up the biometrics
Kind.
of the world basically, and they have their solution for that.
Yep.
Well, we see these people are running wild, robbing these stores, you know, looting and doing all this shit, and then you know we have a trafficking crisis. You know, children going missing, and they showed you that with that film Sound of Freedom. You know, so why not up the biometrics data of society so that we can keep track of the people?
Yeah. Another thing that's been increasing, and really in the past year and a half, is the increase of two-factor authentication.
Yep.
You know, that's been huge.
You get a message to your email, phone, or something. Yeah, I done done things where I don't even need no password anymore. I just do the two-factor thing and you logged in. You know, so it really takes away the human control of these certain apps or websites you want to use.
It says youth and future generations, and that's pretty much working on their minds, you know, by mind programming them through their you know, the brainwashing of the school system, social media, you know, yeah, the LGBTQ, you know, pushing that agenda on the children, and it says transforming global governance.
Global, not just
Government, we know means control.
not just concentrated on America, but global. They want this to go global.
Global control sounds like world control.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
And it's centralized.
You know, down to one entity. It's not the Arabs have control over this area, the Russians have control over this area, the Asians have control over this area, Americans have control over this and this area. No, one entity will have all the control.
Right.
And it's coming down to the so-called Illuminati, right? And their complete world control. Which was the blessing that they didn't get, that they trying to make a pseudo version of. Okay? But you need the prophet to break that down. You got it, brother.
Revelation 14:8. And there followed another angel saying, Babylon is fallen, the great city, because she made all the nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication.
I want to say the wine is that philosophy, and the article the brother's reading is part of that wine, where they're going to give you this illusion that everything that's happening is good for you, it's going to protect you, but at the end of the day, it's to your destruction. But it's part of that wine where you didn't drunk it, and it makes you feel good, but by the time you realize you're despaired and you out of it, it's too fucking late. You didn't got the MARK, and you just pretty much waiting on the missile.
Verse 9. And the third angel followed them, saying with that loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark.
The image is that system that philosophy and technocracy put together of the one world governance or control. Go ahead.
If any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb.
That's the judgment for taking that. That's the judgment for submitting to this system. You know, that's a judgment